When Courtney Hadwin stepped onto the stage of America's Got Talent, the atmosphere shifted in an instant. At only 13 years old, she appeared shy and unassuming, but the moment she began to sing, the room erupted with energy. Her voice carried a raw, gritty power that felt decades older than her years. It wasn't polished in a conventional pop sense. It was soulful, electric, and unpredictable. Viewers across the nation watched in disbelief as a teenager commanded the stage with the presence of a seasoned rock legend. That single audition transformed her life overnight. Social media exploded. Clips of her performance went viral, and millions replayed the moment that introduced her to the world. For many, she was more than a contestant. She was a phenomenon. Yet behind the applause and astonishment, a complicated journey was just beginning. The world's reaction, instant fame, and unrelenting attention. Courtney's audition quickly became one of the most talked about performances of the season. Within days, her name circulated across continents, and her video amassed millions of views. Fans praised her fearless delivery and compared her to legendary vocalists known for their raspy intensity. What resonated most was her authenticity. She didn't seem manufactured or rehearsed to perfection. Instead, she embodied a rawness that felt refreshingly real. However, fame at such a young age comes with weight. The same platforms that celebrated her amplified every opinion, both positive and negative. While thousands applauded her as a future superstar, others scrutinized her style, appearance, and mannerisms. The attention was constant and overwhelming. For a teenager still discovering her identity, being thrust into global recognition meant navigating a world where admiration and judgment arrived simultaneously, often indistinguishable in their intensity. A judge's faith. Simon Cowell's emotional response. Among the judges, Simon Cowell was visibly moved. Known for his blunt critiques and high standards, Simon rarely reacted with open emotion. Yet Courtney's performance seemed to break through his composed exterior. He recognized something rare, not just talent, but individuality. To him, she represented the kind of artist who appears once in a generation, someone who could redefine expectations. His praise carried weight because it came from years of discovering and shaping global stars. More than admiration, he appeared protective. He understood the machinery of fame and the pressures that accompany sudden success. His reactions signaled to viewers that Courtney wasn't simply another contestant passing through a television stage. She was an artist with long-term potential. That endorsement elevated her status instantly, but it also intensified the spotlight, placing even greater expectations on her young shoulders. The backlash begins when praise turns to criticism. As her popularity soared, criticism followed closely behind. Online platforms filled with divided opinions. Some labeled her too intense, while others questioned the authenticity of her persona. A few even accused her of exaggerating her style for attention. The backlash extended beyond digital spaces and seeped into her everyday life. At school, classmates who had seen her televised performance treated her differently. Teasing and whispers replaced normalcy. The scrutiny became relentless, dissecting everything from her vocal technique to her stage movements. For a young teenager, the sudden shift from anonymity to public debate was destabilizing. What began as celebration slowly transformed into pressure. Each performance was compared to her audition, and expectations mounted with every appearance. The joy of singing, once spontaneous and freeing, began to feel like an obligation weighed down by millions of opinions. The dark side of virality, a mental health struggle. The internet's cruelty escalated beyond criticism. Anonymous users sent harsh messages, and in some cases, threats. For someone barely in her teens, such hostility was deeply unsettling. The constant exposure to negativity began to erode her confidence. She withdrew from social media and limited public interaction. Singing, once her sanctuary, became a source of anxiety. She feared judgment before even stepping onto a stage. The psychological toll of viral fame is rarely discussed, yet it can be profound, especially for adolescents. Courtney reportedly began questioning her worth and her place in the industry. The idea of damaging her own voice, her greatest gift, crossed her mind during her lowest moments. It reflected the depth of her distress. What had once been empowerment transformed into vulnerability, revealing the fragile balance between talent and emotional well-being. Stepping back to heal, reflection and recovery. Eventually, stepping away became necessary. Time out of the spotlight allowed her to recalibrate. Surrounded by family support, she began focusing on her mental health. The judging panel's response was immediate and emotional. Simon Cowell, often known for stern critiques, praised her remarkable technique and composure. Heidi Klum admired her sweetness and confidence, while Mel B and Howie Mandel commended her rare gift. The defining moment came when guest judge Laverne Cox pressed the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rained down as Celine stood stunned, tears filling her eyes while her family rushed the stage. The buzzer guaranteed her advancement to the live shows, solidifying her breakthrough. The clip of that moment spread rapidly online, earning millions of views within days. It was more than a competition highlight. It was a cultural moment that introduced the world to a young prodigy whose voice transcended age and language. The semifinals. Rising pressure. Advancing to the semifinals, Celine faced heightened expectations. She chose "How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?", originally performed by Michael Bolton, a demanding ballad requiring both strength and emotional nuance. The stage was larger, the stakes higher, and the audience even more critical. Despite her youth, she delivered a controlled and heartfelt performance. Her confidence was evident, yet the immense pressure was impossible to ignore. Competing against diverse acts, she confronted the reality that talent alone does not guarantee victory. Although her journey on the show eventually ended, she had already captured global admiration. The semifinals marked both a peak and a turning point. The applause was thunderous, but the competition's conclusion meant returning to everyday life, with fame now attached to her identity. The spotlight that once felt thrilling would soon reveal its weight. Life after fame, the hidden cost. When the show ended, Celine's life did not slow down. It grew more complicated. Public recognition brought expectations that followed her into daily routines. Balancing schoolwork, training, interviews, and appearances became exhausting. The world that once cheered her now watched closely for every misstep. Maintaining vocal excellence while navigating adolescence proved challenging. Fame created opportunities, yet it also imposed pressure to remain extraordinary. The simplicity of singing for joy gradually shifted toward performance as responsibility. Even with unwavering family support, the emotional strain of constant visibility was undeniable. Growing up is difficult under any circumstances. Growing up while millions remember your childhood brilliance is far more complex. Celine faced the challenge of redefining herself beyond a single viral performance. The glitter of televised success began to fade, revealing the resilience required to move forward privately while carrying public expectations. Growing up in public, identity, and resilience. The most difficult chapter of Celine's story lies not in competition, but in maturation. Transitioning from child prodigy to teenager under global scrutiny is emotionally demanding. The public often expects perfection, leaving little room for normal mistakes or growth. For Celine, adolescence unfolded beneath the memory of a golden buzzer moment. Friendships, schooling, and personal exploration were influenced by her public image. Yet through these challenges, she demonstrated quiet resilience. Supported by her family, she worked to maintain balance and perspective. Talent may have opened doors, but strength of character sustained her. Her journey illustrates how fame can amplify vulnerability, particularly for young performers. Still, her voice remains a symbol of possibility. Whether she continues pursuing music professionally or chooses a quieter path, Celine Tam's story stands as both inspiration and caution, a reminder that behind every viral sensation is a human being navigating life in real time. Conclusion: beyond the spotlight, Celine Tam's journey is more than a tale of extraordinary talent. It is a portrait of courage beneath pressure. From a toddler singing in a car to a golden buzzer moment watched worldwide, her rise was breathtaking. Yet the quieter chapters reveal deeper truths about fame, identity, and growing up. She touched millions with a voice that seemed heaven-sent, but her real strength lies in her resilience beyond the stage. The world may remember the confetti and applause, but her story continues off camera, shaped by determination and hope. Whether she returns to global stages or chooses a life away from constant scrutiny, her impact endures. Celine Tam remains a symbol of raw ability and fragile humanity, proof that even the brightest stars must learn to shine on their own terms.